Je vais commencer la session et puis on intégrera les participants qui souhaitent nous rejoindre en cours de route
We shall start our
au moment où
session
ça va
and
être.
we'll admit the remaining
Bonjour
participants
toutes et
as
à
they come
tous.
along. So good
Merci de vous
afternoon, ladies
connecter
and
pour
gentlemen. Thank
cette
you for
dernière
logging on for
session
this final
des ateliers en
session
numérique des rencontres
of the
européennes de la participation.
European meetings
Donc,
for
petit rappel
participation.
en
Uh,
ce qui concerne
uh,
le
quick
son. Si vous
reminder,
souhaitez
if
écouter
you
en
like
anglais, il faut vous
to
connecter sur le canal d'interprétation anglais.
follow the
Par
deliberations in
effectivement
English,
enlever ou
kindly
supprimer
select interpretation in
les voix dans
English.
leur langue
And if
originelle
you'd like
ou
to
garder
listen to the main
le
audio,
français.
then
Voilà.
please select main audio.
Je remercie Myriam et
I'd like to
Rita
thank
pour
Miriam and
ce
Rita
plaisir
are
et la chance d'avoir
that are here with
introduit
us
les
for
sessions depuis
to
hier
interpret
sur
the
les
session
rencontres en numérique.
since
Donc je
yesterday
pense
for the
elles ont
digital
fait, ce soit
meetings, and
terminé
I think that they are also looking
et c'est
forward
pas toujours
to
facile
this
pour
being ending. I
simplifier
mean,
au maximum
but just
leur
to
travail. Vous allez
make
couper vos
their
micros
lives easier,
et
I
à
invite you
utiliser
all
des
to mute
casques
yourselves and
filaires
kindly
avec un
use
micro si possible
headsets with a
lorsque
microphone
vous souhaiterez prendre la parole.
when you'd like
Je
to take the
remercie
floor.
ensuite
I'd also like to
toute
thank
l'équipe ALDA
the entire
des
ALDA
Balkans,
team from the Balkans and
principalement Ivana
mainly
et
Ivana,
toutes les autres équipes
as well as the remaining
pour
teams
leur
for
participation
their
aujourd'hui.
kind
Je suis sûr qu'on va
participation
apprendre
today. I'm
énormément de
sure that
choses.
we'll be learning a
Les
great
rencontres, c'est
deal
avant tout déjà de se
from
rencontrer,
this
mais aussi
session. I
d'apprendre,
mean, this will be an opportunity
de
for us to
foisonner un petit
engage,
peu les
exchange,
initiatives, parfois les reproduire après
and to
chez
give us
nous.
also food for thought
Donc on est très content
and
aujourd'hui de
see what
pouvoir
initiatives
finir
we
cette
can
session
replicate in
rapidement.
our respective
Mali,
regions.
Est-ce que chacun peut couper les micros, s'il vous plaît?
Kindly ask the
Merci.
participants to
Donc, on est très content
mute their
aujourd'hui de pouvoir finir cette
microphones.
session
So we are indeed
avec
delighted to
la
be able
vôtre
to conclude this session
pour
with
permettre, voilà, toujours
this
d'aller plus loin dans
theme
l'apprentissage et les
to
pratiques
take things further
qu'on souhaite
um,
reproduire et des
and
échanges qu'on peut avoir
to
et des
try
relations
to
aussi qu'on
ensure
peut
as
développer.
many fruitful
Donc,
exchanges
je vais
as
pas prendre la parole
possible.
plus
So,
longtemps. Les sessions sont
without
enregistrées,
further
donc il y aura
ado,
toujours la possibilité de les
I will hand it
regarder
over to the next
plus
speaker,
tard sur
to the
YouTube. On fera
panelists, and
aussi
these
un compte
sessions will be
rendu de
recorded.
la session.
Feel free to
Donc, je laisse tout de suite la
view
parole
the sessions
à
on
Ivana
YouTube.
et
And
je
so,
vous
without
souhaite
further
à
ado, I shall
tous
hand
une
it
très
over
très
to
bonne session.
Ivana, and I
Merci.
wish you all excellent session. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Gabriel. I will continue in English. So I will remind everybody that you need to switch on the channel, the language channel that you prefer for this session. My name is Ivana Velkova. I am the director ad interim of the Office of ALDA in the Western Balkans, specifically located in Skopje and North Macedonia. So we are the hub of our association that is organizing the activities, all of the activities of ALDA on the territory of the Western Balkans, and specifically in the Western Balkans 6. I will share my screen so you can start to visualize a little bit our work. So let me find the proper screen. I think it's this one. Can everybody see it? Is it okay? Okay, so I want to welcome you, everybody, to our workshop today entitled "Citizens Engagement: A Key to Lasting Reconciliation in the Western Balkans." So, as I to just to start my session, I would like to present a little bit the program of the workshop. So we are starting with the introduction and presentation of citizen participation in the Western Balkans and the work that ALDA is doing since the creation of ALDA and our LDAs. Then we'll have three breakout sessions in which there are three different input givers from different countries that we work in the Western Balkans. So we have LDA Subotica from Serbia, LDA Zavidovici from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and we have LDA Kosovo from Kosovo. So after the portion of the breakout session, we'll have a short recap and general discussion on the topics. So let's start with, I always start with a phrase or an idea. So this time I chose let's say a sort of definition of citizen participation by the Council of Europe that says participation of citizens is at the very heart of the idea of democracy. So democracy is something that our organization strives for, and all of the activities are designed in that way to support democracy on every level and in every organization. So, ALDA, we are actually the European Association for Local Democracy. So ALDA, it's a really interesting concept. Why? Because our origins are found in the Western Balkans, but we are an organization that is actually a French registered, and we are in the same time European. So ALDA is an association dedicated to promotion of good governance and citizen participation at the local level, in the European Union, in the neighborhood, and beyond. So we were created in 1999 by the Council of Europe, established by the Council of Europe, to actually support the LDAs, the entities that we will be talking a little bit more in the next few slides. We are a membership-based organization. So at the moment, we count around 300 members, which includes local authorities, association of local authorities, and civil society organizations. We are present in more than 45 countries, and we have currently officially 6 offices. We are registered in Strasbourg. We have an advocacy office, as we call it, in Brussels. We have an office in Vicenza, Italy, Tunisia, Chisinau, and, as I said, Skopje. So I am a representative of the Western Balkan hubs, which is registered in Skopje. So where do we work? As I already said, we work in the European Union, we work in the Western Balkan countries, in the Eastern Partnership countries. We have a newly named regional department, which is called DIASPAT. It's actually Asia, Southwest Africa, and Turkey. But we always joke that if there is a possibility to have a project on the moon, that ALDA will surely do it. So what are the topics that we work on? We, of course, mainly work on civic engagement. We work on digital innovation, gender inclusion and human rights, migration, youth empowerment and education, climate change, and territorial and local development. So these are all of our different thematic hubs on which our projects are organized at the moment. In the moment, we are a big team. So ALDA, as you saw, we are present in six countries as offices. We have around 100 employees. We have 80 projects that are currently implemented on all of the territories that we work on, and beyond. So, what are the LDAs? If the LDAs don't exist, ALDA actually won't exist. So our LDAs are a unique and successful experiment of democratic support with full engagement of local governments and civil society organizations. So the abbreviation is an abbreviation of Local Democracy Agency. So the concept of the Local Democracy Agency was created by the Council of Europe in the 90s to support local communities in the Western Balkans during the conflict period in the Western Balkans, as some of you may remember. So as the time went by and the conflict was a little bit, I'd say it was resolved in a way, but there was still need on the local level for support of the communities in reconciliation, in rebuilding the community, rebuilding trust, etc. So in 1999, they decided to create ALDA as an umbrella organization, so these LDAs can continue their work, and for ALDA to coordinate the concept in a way. So the first LDA is actually created in 1993 in Subotica, Serbia. And you can hear about the work of this, specifically this LDA, from one of our input givers in a little while. So currently, we decided not to stop because the concept was so successful and the results of the activities of these local democracy agencies were so good The Council of Europe and ALDA together decided that this idea needs to be replicated in our country, in other countries, and in other territories that need reconciliation, that they need support on local level. So currently we have 17 LDAs. We have LDAs. As I said, the first LDAs that were before ALDA were in the Balkans. So that's why our origins are Balkan origins. But in the moment we have LDAs in the Eastern Partnership countries. So we are trying to reestablish our LDAs in Ukraine in the moment, for example. We have LDAs in Tunisia, we had an LDA in Morocco, and we are currently working to make the number of Western Balkans LDAs a little bit bigger. So currently we have 7 LDAs. We have 3 in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We have 1 representative from those LDAs, LDA Zavidovici, that will be presenting in one of the breakout sessions. We have 2 in Serbia. We have 1 in Montenegro, 1 in Kosovo, and we are currently working on opening 1 in Albania. In North Macedonia, there is no LDAs, but there is the office of ALDA, so we are covered in that way. What did we do actually, and what do we do when we try to work on citizen participation and engaging the communities in communities in countries that are torn by conflict, that there is a shrinking space for civil society, where we have backsliding of democracy, and where it's quite difficult to work. So this is something that we learned through the years, and this is a methodology that we discovered that works every time. So what does ALDA do in those cases when we encounter a block of democracy, a block specifically of citizen engagement? So we try to focus on democratic resilience. So we are focusing specifically on dialogue and community approach, and we always start in small steps. So we don't, because we are working specifically on local level, we don't, we don't have an enormous goal at the beginning. Small goals, small steps. Reaching 1%, reaching 10%, so small and lower indicators are always good when you start your work in this kind of community. We always focus on the local actors. So it's important we always identify who is the person that can help us the most in achieving our goal, in reaching the public, in reaching the community and reaching the citizens, and provoke them and push them to be more active in their communities. And of course, all forms of dialogue on local level are important. So we forget, sometimes the bigger organizations forget that having a coffee in the morning with maybe a local representative of the municipality can do wonders. So this is something that we always say, we never forget the basics of maintaining relationship and creating relationship and partnerships with the local actors. So of course we are focusing on topics. So we work on democracy, but we also work on cross-cutting on a cross-cutting topics and in a multi-stakeholder level. So always in our activities, we tend to not only involve one part of the stakeholders, that is at the community, but also involve, for example, the local authorities in our projects and in our activities, because we think that programs and community development can't can't continue without the cooperation of all of the stakeholders on all of the levels. So that's why when we are creating our programs, we always invite, for example, the hosts of our LDAs, the municipalities that are hosting the LDAs, to be part of our projects. And we are also always valorizing their input in our projects, because sometimes civil society has certain demands and the community has others, but the institutional partners and the local authorities on different level authorities have different procedures. So we need to work together to achieve our goal together. And it's often happens that the goal is actually the same, that we share the same goals. So we're also focusing on supporting the community by connecting different dots. So our ideas is also to create learning communities, the communities that can be open for change and can be open for new ideas. Also by using different digital hub a few years ago. So, and also we are working in creating opportunities of cooperation and to make the community feel that ALDA or our LDAs or our local partners are safe spaces where the community and people and different stakeholders can talk and can discuss and can present their problems and even find solutions in the problems together. Of course, we are focusing on partnership on a medium or a long-term period. So we are always thinking out of the box. So as I said, creating friendship with different stakeholders is always an approach that can be taken for different topics and for different activities, and those friendships and partnerships can be on different levels. They can be on local level, they can be on a national level. That's why we decided to ALDA to be in a form of a network, that we can work with different stakeholders and to work with different partners and work on different topics. Also, we like to support the community-to-community decentralized cooperation. So decentralization is also one of our core topics that we work on. Because as you know, usually the activities and the bigger organizations work in the capital cities. More and more, the smaller communities, the smaller municipalities or regions can be neglected because especially smaller countries, as my country, for example, North Macedonia, has a tendency to centralize everything in my capital city of Skopje. So decentralization is one of our favorite topics because we want really to work with smaller communities, local authorities, because the impact always is better and bigger when you work in those communities, and can't be sometimes lost if you work on a different, for example, on a national level. So, well, what do we do when we focus on the local level? So we have usually always start with an integrated development diagnosis to see, of course, to check who are the local leaders, who can help us in our goal, who can maybe push the community to be more active. Then we are using innovative tools on how to gather the participants and gather the people around our projects. But we also do not forget to use the traditional structures. For example, some of the municipalities or villages are used to having the village councils, or to have now in the modern and digital era of Zoom and Google Meets and everything, we have municipalities who still stream their municipal meetings on Facebook. So the idea is to every time when you create a program and you create a goal, you need to make your activities and the approach that you want to take. Always focus on multi-stakeholder approach and multi-level approach. So if you start with approaching, for example, an advisor at the municipalities, you always aim a little bit bigger, try to reach the mayor through him, etc., etc. And of course, promote participatory mechanisms on all levels and of all forms. So our expertise in this is quite big. So next, I will share with you two projects in the Western Balkans that are dedicated to specifically that it's how it happened on youth participation. So the first one is the Balkan Platform for Youth Participation and Dialogue. This is one of my favorite projects I have implemented so far. It's been funded by the European Commission, and it lasted until 2015-2018 in 5 Western Balkan countries: Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Serbia. I won't read you all of the numbers that you can see on the screen. You can see them. We had more than 69,000 direct beneficiaries. We had 80 meetings, 40 presentations, 17 trainings. But the best story from this project that I really like are actually the local youth advisory groups. So the local youth advisory groups were actually created from local youngsters from the community the project partner was. For example, ALDA Zavidovici had a local youth advisory groups, and those groups would meet regularly and create a list of demands or some kind of propositions of what the municipality can do to better the life of the youngsters in their community. And those demands and ideas of how to better the community were then presented directly to the municipality. Those meetings were even with in some of the countries were with the mayor, in some of other countries were and partner locations were with the responsible for youth engagement in the municipality itself. But the idea was that the voice of youngsters was directly shared with the municipality itself. So this is something that we actually aimed with this project, that when you do activities, you can't do the activity alone. So we can have youth participation, we need the ears of the local authorities open for the voices of our youngsters. So this is one of my favorite examples of a successful activity, because we have eight local youth advisory groups, but we had more than 30 meetings with them, I think, with the municipalities. Maybe I exaggerate, but we haven't counted them so far, because they actually, in some of the countries and in some of the localities, these activities continued even after the projects. So the second project is actually in the form of continuation of the first one. This is the Regional Youth Compact for Europe. So it's also financed by the European Commission. It lasted since 2018 until 2021. As you can see, we hit COVID with this one, and there was a how to say big risk that we will lose some of the activities, but luckily the European Commission left us a period to adapt and to create digitally the activities for the last year. And in this one we have the same countries as the previous one, but we have two more. We have Albania and Turkey. So in this project, we continue the good work from the previous. We used almost all of the same methods, with adding some different methods and methodologies and different steps. So we had 30 local public dialogue platforms, 30 youth workshops. In this one, we had a lot of digital methodologies used. So we created a blog where the youngsters can share their opinions. We had a fully digital summer school the last year, and we also had a small sub-granting scheme as well as the first one. So what are the other examples? So we tend to even for some communities, we tend to start small, as simple as making suggestion boxes on the International Youth Day in the park in Skopje. I have done it, collecting suggestions from youngsters on the street. I can say that ALDA was also accredited for the ELOGE program. It's the European level for governance excellence, in which we ask the citizens through questionnaires what they think about the municipality and how their municipality is offering a good governance is following the good governance principles, etc. I put an example, voting Mostar or elect Mostar as a project. This is also one of my favorite initiatives from our LDAs. It's specifically ALDA Mostar. As I don't know if you know, but in one moment in Mostar, there were no local elections for 12 years. The local authorities was not functioning, and it was really difficult to achieve good governance in the municipality itself. So our colleagues from the LDA Mostar, together with different civil society organizations, they actually organized a street voting. They put a ballot box, created the ballots, created the lists, and then they said to the local people, local community, do you want to vote? And it was so successful that some of the international communities are naming this activity as maybe the jump starting of the pressure to actually organize the first local elections after a long time. So these are I already talked about local youth advisory groups, but we are in a global way. We are still working on making different connections, talking a lot with stakeholders, identify decision makers, raise awareness about our work, create partnerships, etc., etc. So not to take too much of your time, because I want to leave time to my colleagues from the other my breaking rooms. So upcoming, we will actually split now in 3 different breakout sessions, so you can hear in details what did we do in the field to push for reconciliation on local level. We will have 3 breakout rooms. ALDA Subotica is one, ALDA Zavidovici in the second, and ALDA Kosovo in the third. So just a clarification for all of you who want to continue to listen this workshop in French. I propose to you to stay in the main room, because in the main room we will continue with the translation of translation of the meeting. And for the rest of you, I propose to you to continue to the 2 different breaking rooms, and to choose whether you want to hear about the story of ALDA Subotica, ALDA Zavidovici, or Kosovo. In each room, there is actually a representative of ALDA Balkans who will try to moderate and technically show you how the breakout session will work, because we have a small digital aspect of the meeting that we want to try with you. So I will unshare my screen now. I'm sorry that I'm not giving you the place to talk and ask questions, but this we will have around 20 minutes at the end of this webinar to just discuss and talk about everything that you've heard today.
Well, I think we can maybe start so we don't lose time, and if somebody is joining us, we'll continue listening. So hello everyone, my name is Simona Slavkova. I'm from ALDA Balkans. I'm grant manager in ALDA. Today here we are with Vulnet, the representative of LDA Kosovo. I will give him the floor to present himself. We have one Padlet. My colleague Simona Biškovska actually will share the link of our Padlet that I cannot share screen. I will ask for permission to share it, but we will continue with the presentation of Vulnet. In this Padlet, we are inviting all of you, not only Vulnet, to share some best practices. You can easily use you can easily use this digital tool to share some thoughts, and just press on the plus in the right corner, and you can write anything you want. After the Vulnet's presentation, you can share some of your practices. So Vulnet, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Simona, maybe you can, I don't know, maybe you can share the link on the chat. So
Yeah, my colleague Simona, the other one, share it in the
so
chat.
we have 2 Simonas.
Yes,
Nice.
she's our communication technician girl, and I'm the grant manager. But
So
yeah.
I've just shared the link in the chat. You can freely open it, and comments and ideas that you post will be anonymous, so feel free to share.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for participating. It's it's a pleasure. I need to close some applications so they won't notify. Okay. It's real. Sorry, I have no presentation because I wanted to make it a more non-formal discussion together as a World Café, or as we call it, a Balkan Café activity. So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be part of this discussion about citizen engagement and the role of and its role on reconciliation in Balkans. As Simona said, my name is Vulnet Gusia. I represent Local Democracy Agency of Kosovo, and today I will, let's say, walk through you the activities and best practices of civic participation that help us rebuild trust and strengthen the democracy here in Kosovo. We will explore the recent initiatives that we had as a LDA that brought together youth from different communities, from different ethnic communities, and what we do in working towards a lasting reconciliation in Kosovo. Okay, so first I wanted to present LDA Kosovo. As an organization, we were established in 2011 in the city of Peja with the support of ALDA, the European Association for Local Democracy, and of course, the support of local authorities here in Peja, the municipality, with the mission to promote local democracy and active citizenship, and of course, the regional cooperation in the Balkans. We are part of the broader network of local LDAs. I don't know if everybody heard also the Eva told the network of LDAs throughout all the Balkans. And our work focuses on youth empowerment, human rights, and social cohesion. Our main objectives is also, of course, is to encourage people in civic participation so they can develop their communities, and also ensure we try to make the marginalized groups their voices heard, and people from different ethnic backgrounds. We want them to collaborate together in tackling their challenges. Over the years, we have implemented a lot of projects with ALDA and with other LDAs. In this way, we build the trust, we promote democratic values, and contribute for the development of more inclusive society in Kosovo. Before I start to tell you more about the activities, maybe I should share some historical context of the conflict of the war in Kosovo. As you know, as much as in other Balkan countries, there have been conflict, there have been ethnic divisions and political instability. Kosovo war left deep scars on our society for many years. These divisions prevented dialogue and collaboration between the communities that lived here. There were, of course, mistrust and a sense of injustice, of making it difficult to imagine a future where citizens of Kosovo would work together, let's say, on a common purpose. However, after the war and after some years, also have shown that despite these challenges, reconciliation is possible. Kosovo's journey towards peace and stability has been difficult, but also a necessary process. One of the most powerful tools in this journey is, of course, citizen engagement, where people from different ethnic and cultural backgrounds participate in rebuilding the society throughout participating in activities with LDA Kosovo. We in LDA Kosovo, of course, believe that citizen participation is crucial in healing the wounds of the past and building a better future together with mutual respect. There were initiatives that we worked on during these years, and they are designed to engage youth from different communities and create opportunities for them to collaborate. So I will share with you some of the activities that we did in the recent year, like 2024. One activity, one project, one program that we have. It's its third year now. It's called Youth Empowerment for Social Change. This is the leadership and civic engagement program of LDA Kosovo. It's designed to bring people from diverse ethnic and cultural backgrounds together. Okay, let's take you through some of the activities of the Youth Empowerment of Social Change, what we do together with Albanian, Serbian, and Bosniak, but also other ethnic groups that live in Kosovo. We bring them all together. First, we organize policy discussions, as we call them, where young people engage in debates about social issues affecting their communities. Then we have educational workshops, which are designed to equip these young participants with knowledges and skills to relate on social change and community development. These workshops cover a different range of topics. And the third and most important activity of this program is the youth-led community projects. So we have these small-scale initiatives that come from the participants that address local challenges of their neighborhoods. For instance, last year, a group of young participants decided to tackle a waste management issue in their neighbor. They launched a recycling campaign that included workshops for school children and awareness-raising activities for citizens in Serbian, also Albanian and Bosniak neighborhoods. So by taking this ownership of the project, these young people not only improve their environment, but also learn skills of project management, teamwork, and communication. Of course, we have to understand that the impact of this initiative is big, because in Kosovo, young people from different ethnic backgrounds don't often have the chance to interact or collaborate with each other. But through these initiatives, we have seen that youth from all the communities in Kosovo can work together and share a sense of a purpose, also build friendships, create networks, and cooperate with each other. Yeah, so this is one program that we worked on reconciliation, and also we have another activity which is a more creative one that we organized also recently, and I want to tell you more about Mural Art Week. And it's our second year consecutively that we are working on this program. So this project also brings people from different communities together on mural painting and music performances. The idea of this project is simple. We use art to break down the prejudices and encourage dialogue in this region where we know there were a lot of mistrust and divisions, and we use art as the power to speak to people in a way that let's say words sometimes cannot. Well, the most important feature of this Mural Art Week is that, as we call it, a participatory art, or the collaborative mural painting. So we invite high school students from different schools of PEA to work side by side by creating murals that represent different themes. Of course, themes of unity and shared heritage and peace. These activities now are creating a visual narrative in our city that reflects the collective values of cooperation and reconciliation. Of course, these, for example, we have this mural that we worked back in September. and it was a tree with a rooted intertwined, let's say, the tree with intertwined roots. And as an artist, as the youngsters represented it, they said it symbolizes that we are interconnected despite our differences. So the young artists worked together, painted the mural over several days. Also, they discussed their experience, because in the aftermath of these events, we held open discussions about cultural identity, history, and all of them contributed in discussions. These discussions, of course, allowed participants to engage in conversation that sometimes maybe were a bit uncomfortable, but probably necessary. So the impact of this initiative or project has been incredible. Many of the participants has told us how these experiences have changed their perspective on themselves, on each other, and on the whole possibility of more inclusive society in the future. So these projects have been very important for us as a LDA for fostering a sense of ownership and shared responsibility with youth in Kosovo. And we believe that the future of Kosovo lies in the hands of all of the citizens, no matter the ethnic group they belong to. So we strongly believe that Kosovo's future lies on the engaged citizens, especially youth. So thank you very much for your time. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Hopefully I wasn't very fast on my talking, but I was trying to be as slow as I could.
Thank you, Vulnet. Very inspiring and interesting examples shared with us today. I will invite everyone. I haven't seen you all write it. I think somebody, cute koala, write some comment here on the Padlet. But as my colleague Simona shared in the chat, you can all join the Padlet if you don't want to speak out loudly, but we will gladly hear your voices or your stories, because writing is another thing, but sharing it here with us, speaking, is better. So anyone who wants to share something, now it's the time. Nobody wants to share anything. Anita, yes, please. Anita, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Hi,
Please.
I'm so sorry I cannot turn my camera on at the moment, but I'm Anita. I am following your talk from Austria, from Vienna. I work from ÖGUT, which is a participation non-profit organization based in Vienna, and I wanted to thank you for the very interesting input and presentation. I was very interested when you were saying, I think in general, of course, the participation exercises done in Austria are very, let's say the purposes of them are very different than in the context of Kosovo, and it's very interesting to hear your perspective of citizen engagement playing a role in rebuilding trust after a conflict. And I was wondering what you were mentioning before, Vulnet, about including marginalized communities and vulnerable groups. I was wondering, and people from ethnic backgrounds, it's something that, of course, we are very interested in and also working on here in Austria, especially including vulnerable groups in local climate policy. And I was wondering whether you have some specific example of or methods that worked for you in the context of Kosovo for including vulnerable groups and marginalized communities in citizen engagement, and what worked and what doesn't, because we all know, of course, that it's hard to bring these groups into a room because they have usually bigger issues to deal with than coming to meetings. Yeah, so this would be my question, and thanks again.
Well, thank you for the question. Well, what we actually do is that we meet with different communities. We have this, we say, a local network of youth, and that's an umbrella organization for other local organization of the different communities. So this organization help us to maintain contacts with different groups and their NGOs. For example, we have in IPEA a network of at least 10 organizations from different ethnics. Bosniak, Serbian, Roma, and Ashkali. So what we do is that we meet with them on a monthly basis, and then we discuss how can we organize activities together, and then we try to align our objectives and our mission with their objectives and their projects, and we try to have this open dialogue all the time. So what we do is that we have this network, and also we try to go to the neighborhoods, to the towns, to the villages where they live, and establish contact, like eye-to-eye contact on multiple occasions.
Thank you very much for the answer.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions maybe for Vulnet, or if you want to share something, we have time. You can speak. Anyone can, without raising a hand, can just turn on the microphone and say something.
Hello, I'm from Estonia, working with Estonian Cooperation Assembly with this foundation close to Estonian President of the Republic. And we work also with dialogue and different participation methods. And I'm especially interested now the Estonian past is also related with our our history is also complicated. It has been a bit more time ago, but now we are facing new challenges, and I'm especially interested how this civic participation and hybrid interference into those communities that are already delicate, how you tackle with those issues.
Sorry, can you?
Yeah, please. I can be very complicated how I express. Like, so what I was.
Your connection lost for some seconds, and then I.
Oh, yeah, that can be also. That's one of the hybrid what we have right now. We are very close to the border, so our internet is getting hijacked once in a while. What I'm meaning is that like if you have already very delicate situation, like we have very big Russian minority in Estonia, and to work together with Russian and Estonian youth, maybe it's not so big topic in the European communities, but we also work on the local level and with complicated pasts. So we have had deportations and all this kind of issues from the Second World War. So we have our history. And now what is happening is that the hybrid war is here, and we have to continue with our democratic participation activities. But now we have kind of new fronts here. How you are able to continue your work in those new realities what we are facing currently?
Well, I think our work is based on youth, and then on personal relations that we have already established with a lot of actors on the field, and we have very good contacts, even though, for example, on a national level or on local authorities, on a municipality, in political level, we have difficulties with, for example, other communities and collaborating, but on a youth-related activities and cultural activities and other NGOs, we have very good cooperation because, as I said, we established contacts and we have personal relationships with a lot of let's say Serbian NGOs and Bosniak NGOs, and then we have this I don't know, let's say a shared vision of going together forward. So it's what we do. It's that we organize and implement activities and projects together, and that's how we probably can avoid conflicts or misunderstandings.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Flamur and Zeynep, do you have something to share or to ask Vulnat about?
I guess. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
My
hi.
name's Flamur. So I work at the Congress for Local and Regional Authorities at the Council of Europe. So this is quite a relevant topic, I think, sort of for my work. But I'm from Skopje, so that's also quite relevant. But what I'm quite curious about is oftentimes, I grew up going to these kinds of youth events, and especially growing up in Skopje, it's a bit difficult to not meet people who are from a different background and for us to become friends and maybe go to courses together, because the majority of us, we go to classes, the majority of people go to classes based on the language that they speak home. So if they spoke Albanian at home, they would go to Albanian school, high school, and university. Or if they spoke Macedonian, it would be so the same. So it's not necessarily that you would naturally meet at school, but you would meet through all these different events that would happen outside of school. But I think it was still easy. I don't know, at least for me, it was quite easy. You have your neighbors, you go to anywhere really, and I think in that way for us, it's a bit of a different context than for Kosovo. However, I think sometimes what the issue is, maybe it's the older generation, because even if you have youth who tends to be more open-minded and want to work together, there's this immense pressure from those from the older generation, because maybe they feel some kind of they harbor certain feelings a lot more than the younger generation, who may not have experienced certain things that the older generation has. So I guess my question is, have you thought about targeting those who are a bit older, maybe some kind of program to establish this connection that goes beyond, we're just colleagues in the workplace, so something a bit more specific? I'm sort of curious about that. But thank you again for your presentation. It was quite insightful.
Well, thank you. We are focused on youth related activities mostly, but I remember some years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, we had this initiative that we were screening ex-Yugoslavia movies on our youth center in Vitomerica, which is a Bosniak town, and also in our city in Peja. And the participants were mainly more older people than the youth, and then they engaged also on different topics, discussing together. And I also remember that we had a very fruitful discussions between Albanians and Bosniak communities on those days, because it was once a week activity. And I know it was a very inspiring, let's say, initiative. But other than that, I don't remember in these recent years that we have engaged for more older group. Maybe that's a very good suggestion that we can maybe start to think about that more.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you, Flamur. I think Zainab is the only one that didn't ask anything. I don't know if she's listening to us, if she's here. If she
Hi.
has. Hi Zainab. Do you have
Hi.
some questions to Vulnet or to share something, some example or something from your organization?
I'm actually working with Décider ensemble right now. I'm an intern at Décider ensemble, and I am participating in these European gathering like meetings for citizen participation as like part of my internship. So I've chosen this one because I was interested in it because I originally grew up in Istanbul and I come from Turkey. And I thought it was interesting, the work that you guys have been doing so far in the Balkans. There are similarities, of course, in the Western Balkans and Turkey as well. And I don't really have a question. I think it was well explained overall. But I wanted to thank you guys for the presentation. I have a problem with my camera, so unfortunately, you guys can't see me, but I have been listening, for very attentively.
Okay, thank you, Zainab. Sorry for just calling you out, but
No, no, it's
I was
totally right.
wondering if you have some questions or some comments, if we were too boring or too fun, too interesting. So just to share some thoughts here while we're in this breakout room.
Of course, of
But
course.
thank you for your feedback. It means a lot for me, for Vulnet, for everyone joining this breakout room. Vulnet, do you have something else to share? I mean, we have 5 more minutes.
We have a lot of things to share if we go to our archives and see our activities and projects. I only choose two of the activities. You also heard Eva that we also collaborate in youth exchange and a lot of other projects. For example, we have this Shared Horizons project that we are trying to establish youth teams with different ethnic groups and also boost. But I'm not going to share all of this. I invite these participants to like and follow us and maybe to visit us on Kosovo in Macedonia. I don't know. And thank you all for participating and listening to me and to Simona, of course.
Thank you, Umut. Yes, the call for action at the end was very, very meaningful. I think Simona can share in the chat the Boost project and the share. I mean, we have social media platforms and the website, so everyone can join these initiatives, can be part of them. We have calls that will be in the following period launch. So yes, thank you all. I think we can join now the main session room when we will wait for others breakout rooms to finish, as we finish first, I think. But yeah, thank you so much for this time, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Yeah, Simona, I think, yeah, she shared it our social media, so you can go and follow us and
Simona, I
support
know
us.
what are you doing. You want to steal 2 more minutes so that we finish on time.
Okay. Yeah, I can speak a lot. I mean, and now that you see the other Simona commenting our social media, and you can take this 2-3 minutes to just go to the websites and social platforms to follow
Volnet
us.
mentioned, sorry, Simona, I interrupted. Volnet
Yes,
mentioned
no.
Shared Horizons. So this week, at the end of the week, we'll have an open call for young researchers. If you're interested to join, it'll be a great opportunity to meet other young people from the Western Balkans. It'll be super fun and a great way to learn more skills and boost your CV. So definitely follow us so you don't miss out on that. and share it with friends and young people who might be interested. I think genuinely that it's a great opportunity as well. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
No, you can continue. You're the communication girl. You spread the voice to the youngs. But yeah, definitely very interesting call. Somebody wants to tell something? Did I interrupt? No. Sorry, I'm seeing the Padlet and just few photos of you. So if you want to say something, just turn on the mic, the audio. No? Simona, do you want to add something else? Yeah, okay. Vulnat, any other thoughts? Do we miss something? I'm now preparing for the regional training next week in Belgrade for Boost, so my mind is on both sides, on this workshop and on Belgrade. So
Yeah, I think we are traveling together to Belgrade.
yes, we are.
That's
Yes.
great. Yeah.
And for
Okay.
me, what was very interesting actually is this generational difference. In Estonia, we experience that a lot. Currently, they restructure the whole education system, and clearly, young people are really in favor of that. And then they're even upset why these kind of reforms are coming so late because they have been cut away from the opportunities to have all education in Estonian. But there are a lot of conflict with the older generation who feel that they lose the privilege what they had before under the dictatorship. And then now all those disinformation campaigns are coming in, and then it's like how to keep the youth how to keep what we had have already achieved. So it's like this kind of pressure that no, we don't go back from where we are coming from. Let's go, even in our days, let's continue moving forwards, even if the dynamic is pushing us back right now. So it's a big effort. Do you have any thoughts or ideas on that kind of problematics?
Wait. Sorry, I had a call on the phone. The question was, do I have answers about what problematics? Sorry, once again.
Currently our youth are doing very good, so we have had a lot of success. They are really integrated to our society, but their parents, like what you were reflecting also, our older generation is somewhere else. There are a lot of conflicts inside the families actually. And now we have a pressure, like this disinformation campaigns, but are kind of dragging that thing back again. So how you kind of keep the success or fruits of your work, even if you have a not so easy environment anymore.
Sorry. I don't know strictly how to answer this question. As the Balkans is a very interesting place to be and to live, to be precise, and the ouch. Sorry. I have a receiving calls this time, and I'm very disturbed. Simona, do you want to say something?
I think it was a very interesting question, and I think it
Yeah,
poses
okay.
the challenge, the intergenerational gap. And I think what civil society can do, and we are trying to do, is sort of bridge it and find out sort of where do these generations get their information from, and that's something we can tackle. What media do they, use? What channels do they follow and trust? And young people are more open-minded, and how do they, sort of try to influence their
The young people decide by themselves what to do. They participate in the debate. They vote for the best, for the good idea, and they implement it together with us. And the evaluation of the effects of the results they made or they produced is done by not only by the participants, by the, how to say, the debate club members. So those are very active students, but also is done by the teachers in their schools and normally the youth offices in respective communities.
Thank you very much, Stanka. So I can see that everybody is back in the room. I'm still sharing the ALDA Subotica Padlet. I think everybody is back in the room, no? I think yes. Okay, Simona is saying yes. So I will stop sharing the Padlet. So I will ask some of my colleagues, maybe Simona, Victoria, to share the links of all of the Padlets in the main chat, so everybody has them. So as you saw, we created this digital way in communicating just to push people who are not at ease to talk to be more active in the sessions. So we had three presentations. We have presentations by Stanka. She was presenting the work of ALDA Subotica. As you all discovered, is our first local democracy agency, and they are working on the territory of the Western Balkans for 30 and something years so far. So we have the presentation of Slađo. He was presenting the work of ALDA Zavidovici, and we also have maybe one of our youngest members, Vulnet from the ALDA of Kosovo, that is actually stationed in Peja. He's not in the. You can imagine all of our three LDAs. They are local. Their locations are not in the capital city. We have Subotica, we have Zavidovici, and we have Peja, which is I think an hour. It was an hour, I think, from Pristina in Kosovo. So we had a really nice conversation. I wanted to recap a little bit. So we did a really nice conversation with Stanka in the ALDA Subotica room. If you want, for those who weren't part of the conversation, you can see our Padlet. We had some comments, really nice sharing of ideas, of different activities. I can see that a lot of people are comment like different activities, democracy repair cafes, for example, even urban gardening. We talked about a little bit of cultural participation, on activities of theater, how to engage the public with arts on different topics. We talked also, when you entered the room, we talked about how do we evaluate citizen participation on local level. And as Stanka said, when the municipality or the local authority itself acts upon the suggestions by the youngsters or the community that are doing the suggestions, this is the best evaluation that we have, because the citizens themselves will see their suggestions come to life with the help of municipality. That's how they will feel empowered working and continuing to be active in that community. Because sometimes one of the most active people are us, the representatives of civil society, members of the civil society, but our goal is not to be only us, to push other people from our community to be more active. So we talked about a little bit with activities in Vojvodina, activities of the LDA, some of the regional initiatives. And I put the web page of LDA Subotica on the Padlet, so everybody the Padlet will be open at least a month after this activity. You can open them again and to see them if you want to consult them. And of course, we will prepare like a short paper on these topics and include your ideas in it. I invite now Simona. Can you talk a little bit about your role?
Yes, thank you, Eva, for the floor. I just wanted to thank, first of all, Vulnet for his presentation of the initiatives that they do in the LDA Kosovo. It was a fantastic presentation of the initiatives. They are all in the Padlet. In my breakout room, actually, the people didn't write in the Padlet, but they have a lot of questions to Vulnet to how to improve. And actually, when I thought that we finished with the breakout session on even before the time end, it occurred that we lastly have a question that was not answered. So I will invite now my colleague, the other Simona, we call it Moni, in the office to just give the answer that she was cut off with going us in the main room. So Simona, can you please answer the question we had that you started to answering it, but was not finished, just for all the persons in our breakout room to hear it?
Yeah, so in our breakout room, they brought up an interesting topic about intergenerational gaps in communicating with other cultures and building bridges, and how young people might be more open towards that in comparison to their parents. And we had a very interesting question at the end. I think Ivana can also add to it, as she has more experience than me, on how do you sort of solve and work on that issue of having a conflict between the younger generation and the older generation that might not be so accepting. I started talking about maybe how the media that they consume can have a great impact on that. And we have projects that work on building more better collaboration between civil society and media organizations in North Macedonia, and something we're working on. And I think
Hello?
I hear somebody
We
and
cannot hear her.
I'm sorry, something got stuck, I think. No? It's okay now?
I
think
don't
we're
know
back
if
now.
Simona, we are back? Okay. Because
think
I
yes.
thought it was my internet, but okay.
Mine too, but it was, now it works. Great. Yeah, but Simona, Moni, actually, it's interesting your question, because Stanka was talking about different when we were talking about the topics on which they work when they work with cultural participation tools. So they have theater groups and theater topics on topic of ageism, on topic on intergenerational communication. So this is actually something that ALDA Subotica is working on. So you can visit also their tablet for this one. So we have 10 more minutes. We can finish with the last one. Victoria, can you present just the last recap, and we can leave like 5 minutes to talk about general talk.
Sure. I'll be quick. Thank you, Ivana. I would also like to thank Slajan once again. He was our input giver in our breakout session. He delivered a fantastic, let's say, chronology of ALDA Zavidovici and the current initiatives, as well as some past initiatives that the Local Democracy Agency of Zavidovici is working on. We also spoke about other success stories from our attendance. We mostly focused on the reconciliation part in the Western Balkan countries. We had a fantastic question about whether the Balkan countries should have isolated initiatives or joint initiatives. And I think we all agree that joint initiatives are always the best. Thankfully, ALDA Zavidovici stands as an example of shared initiatives. As I already spoke, the LDAs are always long-standing partners in all the activities and initiatives that ALDA works on. So it's always really productive to join the initiatives and to work together in promoting reconciliation, promoting peace, promoting youth activism, etc. So it was a very productive discussion, and we all agreed that we should keep in touch for any future initiatives.
Okay, thank you, Victoria. So we have a little bit time left. So do you maybe have other comments, maybe a question that you left unanswered? We can write them in the chat. You can ask them. You can raise your hand. So I invite you to continue the talk. Do you maybe have questions about ALDA specifically, of our activities? Okay, so I can talk a little bit if you want. If you want, you can enter in my
I
conversation.
would, Ivana, just to say,
Yes,
I can
thank
see
you, Slađa.
immediately in our tablet the Pro Peace Program Western Balkan is really Alexander put that on our Padlet. Is I would say the most famous initiative recently in Bosnia and Herzegovina that really organized various events. And thank you, Alexander, for putting this on Padlet.
Perfect. Yes. Slađa, your tablet is the biggest. So I invite everybody to visit all of the Padlets just to see what we are doing, because as you imagine, this is 30 plus years of work of ALDA and the LDAs. It's impossible to put it in 1 hour and a half. We try, but we will never succeed in doing it. So we have a lot of, as Victoria says, all of our work in the Balkans includes usually our LDAs, but we not only the LDAs. Even today in the public, I can see 2 of our members and our partners in the project being present here for this meeting. So ALDA is not just an umbrella organization for our LDAs, but it's also a membership organization, and we offer a lot of perks for our members. Being part of projects, we usually write a lot of projects for the calls. We follow European calls. We follow the non-EU funds, and etc. etc. Today, together with the LDAs, we have 2 big initiatives in the moment that we are implementing. The first one is the project Boost, which is financed by the French Development Agency, by the Agence Française de Développement. This is the first project that was fully financed by the civil society project that was financed by AFD. And the topic is building the capacity of local NGOs so they can work in the Western Balkan regions and promote EU values, promote togetherness, etc. So this is one of our biggest initiatives so far. We just finalized the regional sub-granting scheme. We granted 6 projects on the regional level, but in the future we'll have a national call for sub-granting. That will finance 60 projects, 10 per country. So the next project is Shared Horizons, that actually Victoria is managing at the moment, and it's on the topic of our component is on the topic of reconciliation through cultural heritage. So this is also the activities are implemented in all of the 6 Western Balkan 6 countries. We work in all of the communities, mixing and matching different cultures, different ideologies, and different cultural heritage, but staying together and promoting togetherness with all of our activities. We have a small comment. Thank you for the insight session of the Western Balkans. Although I have relatives in Vojvodina, I was not aware of the great work you carried out in the last 30 years. So I need to tell you that we have become better in communication. So it's really important. I know that one of those steps when you are having activities on the local level is doing activities and pushing for more participation by your constituents and working with the citizens. But communication is crucial in all of our activities and sharing the good news, sharing the good practices, sharing the stories between us. As Slađa wrote in his the question, please add your success stories. We always choose to share our successes with the world, so they can know the work, the good work that we are doing. So this activity, also this webinar, it has a little bit aspect of promotion of our work, so you can get to know us and everything. So yes, it's a tradition of 30 years, and it's a tradition we are really proud of, and the work that we are doing and that we are doing with our local partners. So if you want to join our work and to be part of our maybe consortiums in the future, if you have an idea of the project, we also have a development department that can help you creating a project. If you have an interesting idea but you don't know how to realize, you can also contact us. If you want to reach out for a partner in the Western Balkans and to find the partner that you want to create a project with, or again, is something that we can help you with. Especially if you want to cooperate with our LDAs, I invite you to fully establish this partnership. As I said, on the Padlets, on all of the Padlets, there is an information about the LDA, their website, where you can find their contacts, and you can actually actually talk with them and reach them directly. In the chat, I will leave you the mail of ALDA Balkans, so you can have it. If you have additional questions, sorry, I didn't put them on the meeting. If you maybe have more questions, if you want to continue this conversation, also, we have a lot of activities like this. We are offering, as for members, usually we are offering even free trainings, free discussions. We have regular webinars every 3 or 4 months. So follow the social media pages of ALDAs, follow the social media pages of our LDs. So you can even actually take part in their and our activities in the future. So that's it from me. As I can see, it's 4 o'clock on the dot, maybe 30 seconds less. If there is no comment and no one wants to join us in the discussion, I will give the floor to Gabrielle to close the session.
Merci beaucoup, Ivana. Merci beaucoup à toutes et à tous d'être
Thank you,
restés
Ivana. Thank you all for having stayed until the very end of this workshop. It is unfortunately, it is unfortunate for us, but fortunately for my sleep, that these meetings, both in person and digitally, are coming to an end. We will naturally be publishing. We have the recordings. We also have the reports of all of the workshops that took place in person and digitally. So if there's anything else that you'd like to see added to the report, we can do that. So please feel free to share with us and for anyone who'd like to find out more about the Balkans and your project. So thank you all for your kind participation, and we'll leave it at that in order for each and every one of us can get back to our occupations. Thank you for your time, for your energy, and for this very lively, interesting session. And I'd like to once again thank Miriam and Rita that did a wonderful job interpreting our sessions. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.